To quote Hall, it's not the mustache that makes the man, but the man that makes the mustache. Throughout history, many men have defined their own mustaches and made them either famous or infamous. I myself admire these men and hold them in the highest esteem for pioneering the way of the mustache. But, sadly, I struggle in the facial hair arena. Since I can't grow anything on my face, I'm left to admire the facial hair of other men. So today I will take you throughout history to look at men with mustaches of war, mustaches of peace, and mustaches that brought happiness. First of all, let's look at three men who donned the mustache of war. Genghis Khan was a man who truly understood the power of the mustache. Although there are not many recorded images of his stash, many believe he sported a Fu Manchu spin-off. He was one of the greatest conquerors ever, due in no small part to his glorious mustache. The second evil mustache man single-handedly ruined the toothbrush stash for the rest of the world. Adolf Hitler is hated for nearly exterminating an entire race, and because of that, his mustache is hated almost as much as he is. Saddam Hussein was an evil Iraqi dictator who's not as well known for his mustache. He wore a cross between the chevron and the walrus. I call it the walron. The walron's not something to joke around about. Now let's explore the mustaches of men who brought peace to the earth. When one thinks of Mahatma Gandhi, one immediately thinks of wisdom, peace, and love. That's also what one thinks of when one sees a picture of his mustache. He wore an extended painter's brush mustache. It slid in perfectly between a thin smile and a fat nose with some wire-rimmed bottle cap glasses. The only word that comes to mind is wow. And how can one bring up peace without bringing up Wyatt Earp? Coined by Hall as the peacemaker of the West, he is said to have killed 30 men during his time as a lawman. But he actually didn't kill them, he just let them drop dead whenever they saw his mustache. He wore a thick masculine handlebar that kind of crept up his face at the corners. Our third mustachioed peacemaker is Martin Luther King. He led a verbal campaign for peace, and his mouth received help from a thin, pyramidal mustache that sat on his upper lip and gave him advice. To quote his mustache, "I have a dream." Now let's look at a couple of great men who've brought happiness to the world with the help of great mustaches. Zorro is an American mustachioed hero who is far too often overlooked. He was born in 1782 and named Don Diego de la Vega. How can you not bring happiness to the world with a name like that? Well, anyways, in 1807, his maternal uncle, Esteban, moved to Los Angeles. Historians believe his mustache popped onto the scene around this time. He boasted a perfectly groomed black pencil mustache. The Village People were by far the best thing to come out of the 70s. They were a ridiculous band, centered on the principles of the mustache. According to ArtistFact.com, when the Village People were looking for another member of the band, they put out an ad that said, "Must dance and have a mustache." My personal favorite Village People mustache is Glenn's. It's a thick, hearty horseshoe mustache that's a thing of legend. And possibly the best known mustache in the world is held by Mario the Plumber. His hobbies are saving Princess Peach, punching Bowser in the face, and riding go-karts with his friends. His mustache is so unique, it's literally called the Mario. Would Hitler have done the evil things he did without his mustache? Would Martin Luther King have brought the peace to America that he brought without his mustache? Would Mario have brought happiness to hundreds of millions of little children without his mustache? The answer is no. We make our mustaches. and our mustaches make us who we are. We've seen large mustaches, small mustaches, good mustaches, and evil mustaches. We've seen heroes, villains, winners, and losers, like the village people. Now that you've had some insight into the world of the mustache and the impact it's had on history, I hope that someday you'll find room in your heart for a mustache. I'd like to finish with a quote from Lincoln Hall. They probably won't take our lives, but they might take our mustaches.